What's up YouTube, AVLR32 here. Want to talk to you guys today about the new Cyber Dragon support that's coming out, kind of just discussing how I think it's going to affect the meta as a whole upon its release date. Um, so I just want to, discuss the few cards that could possibly make this archetype good, or will it just kind of be a flop? So what I want to hear from you guys in the comments on this video is this archetype going to flourish, or is it going to flop? Cue the intro. So as you guys know, in December 2013, we are getting a new Cyber Dragon structure deck. They got their own Exceed now called Cyber Dragon Nova, which I'm going to cover in a second, as you can see right here. Also in the top left, you can see I've been watching a lot of Call of Duty Ghosts multiplayer. I'm really getting excited for the game. Today's November 4th, so if you guys don't see me upload for about a week or so, expect a lot of guest uploads. Because it might be a while before I upload again. Don't worry, I'm still doing YouTube, you guys. I'm going to hopefully bust out a lot of Call of Duty videos as well. But anyways, back to the main topic of this video. I just wanted to cover that one thing real quick. So they have their own quick play fusion spell card that's basically a miracle fusion. What it does is you pay half your life points, and once during this turn, if you would fusion summon a machine type fusion monster, you can banish monsters listed on that fusion monster from your side of the field, hand, and graveyard, and use them as fusion material. So it's essentially a quick play spell in the form of Fusion Gate. For this entire turn, it's basically Fusion Gate and Chain Material in one card. You can fuse from your field, hand, and graveyard to make machine type fusion monsters, and it's quick play too, which is really cool. So they got that. They also got Cyber Dragon Nova, which is 2 level 5 machine type monsters. Once per turn, you can detach any seize material from this card to target a Cyber Dragon in your graveyard, special summon that target. Once per turn during either player's turn, you can banish a Cyber Dragon in your hand or that you control, and this card gains 2100 attack until the end phase. If this card is sent to the graveyard by your opponent's card effect, you special summon a machine type fusion monster from your extra deck. And it has 2100 attack, 1600 defense, so it automatically becomes a 4200 beat stick. So, and I do know that there is an OTK out, so that's really, really cool that they have the ability to do that. Cyber Dragon Dre, it's a level 4 light machine type, 1800 attack and 800 defense. When it's normal summon, you can make all the Cyber Dragons you control level 5. And during the turn you activate this effect, you cannot special summon monsters except machine type monsters. If this card is banished, target a Cyber Dragon you control. That monster cannot be controlled by battle or affects this turn. This card's name becomes Cyber Dragon while it's on the field or in the graveyard. They also have Core. And then they also have like Repair Plant, all these other cards, and most of these cards that I've seen, like Network and Plant, are in the OTK. I'm not going to cover all these. I'm just going to, I'm going to leave it like this. You can pause the video, read it. And then here, this is Cyber Repair Plant, pause it, read it. And then Cyber Network, pause it, read it. So, but yeah. So I'm going to just, give a brief discussion of what each of these cards do. Well, not really what all these cards do, but if you do notice, like in Cyber Dragon Core, Cyber Dragon Dre, monsters like this, and even older cards like I think it was called Proto Cyber Dragon, they all have the same effect of this card's name is treated as Cyber Dragon while face up on the field or in the graveyard. So they're kind of like Harpies, where in the sense that Harpies say this card's name is treated as Harpy Lake while face up on the field or in the graveyard. And with, like I was saying, how discussing each of these cards, I mean, Core is really good in the deck because it's basically a Stratus for the deck. You can add a Cybernet, Expeller, Trap, and then if your opponent controls a monster and you control none, you can banish it from the graveyard. So it's even good even whenever it's just dead in the grave. Play a Cyber Dragon from your deck. You can only use one of his effects per turn only once that turn, and then he has the same effect. Trade a Cyber Dragon while face on the field or in the graveyard. So I think that they're going to apply the same concept as people do with Harpies to this deck, just in a different form. Like, whereas they're going to abuse like with Harpies, they're going to abuse this card's name is treated as Harpy Lady while face on the field or in the graveyard as much as they can with, like, i.e. Harpy Lady Phoenix formation. And then, of course, with, Power Bond, Power Bond is like that card that Zane Truesdale used in the show, where he would go Power Bond, fuse all 3 of my Cyber Dragons to make Cyber End Dragon. It has 8,000 swing over per game. That's basically a really basic OTK. But the problem is with Power Bond, I believe it says you take damage equal to the monster's original attack, not the attack that it gains from that. and then the monster is destroyed, and I believe it's banished at the end phase, so you have to win that turn. But Power Bond is still good regardless. Um, I like the fact that Cyber Network is basically a return from the different dimension for the deck. You just get back all your Cyber Dragons, and then you can either contact Fuse or do whatever it is you need to do. But the thing is that even though this deck does have the ability to contact Fuse, it's Cyber Network, getting back all your Cyber Dragons, and then contact fusing into, like, say, Chimera Tech Fortress Dragon or Chimera Tech Over Dragon, is that it's its ally in that sense, but it's also its weakness in the sense that the problem is that if you have 2 or more Cyber Dragons on the field, or just 2 or more, or if you even have a Cyber Dragon and a bunch of machines on board, and your opponent's expecting Chimera Tech Fortress Dragon, because let's be honest, Chimera Tech Fortress Dragon is going to be back in the extra deck once this deck comes out, since it's most likely going to have a lot of hype around it. They can just contact Fuse with all your machines, take your Cyber Dragon away. You just minus by, depending on how many monsters you add. So let's say you have 2 Cyber Dragons on board, you just minus 1. Minus 2 monster zone wise, and you just plus 1. You have 1 monster on the field with 2,000 attack compared to their no monsters, and if they don't have a back row, which the OTK doesn't really run that big of a back row, since most OTK decks really can't. They're just meant to explode, just go, 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 go. I see this deck, or like I was saying, that is like is what gonna help them, or it can also kind of hold them back. So it's helpful, but at the same time, it's also really, really bad for them. It can definitely put a damage in the OTK, of course, if you can't be able to go off. And so Scarecrow and Battle Fader are cards, you guys. I see this deck having a lot of hype around it. When this deck comes out, I would highly suggest you buy 3 structure decks. Because, like, look at the Agent deck, for example. Like, when that came out, there was cards out of it that were money cards. Like, I remember Earth at one point was a $5 to $10 card. You can make easy money just by buying, like, 3 structure decks and then just selling all Earths for, like, 10 apiece. You just made your money back. So, yeah, that does happen. There's definitely going to be hype around it, just like the Blue Eye structure deck. There was a lot of hype around it. But it could also be like the Blue Eye structure deck, where it came out and no one really cared. Because, it's Blue Eyes, and it didn't really do much in the meta. We have the Blue Eyes Dragon Ruler build, but the Blue Eyes Dragon Ruler build is just far insignificant and really just redundant, to be honest, compared to the Trigon build and the builds that run Skill Drain. Like the one that won Toronto, that one is far superior compared to the Blue Eyes build, because you basically have to rely on drawing into a Blue Eyes and trade in first turn in order to go off. Although when that does happen, you feel like you just won. So, definitely some power cards that are going to be in this deck that you want to look out for. Definitely Cybernetic Fusion. Oh my god, I really hope that they hit this card after the structure deck comes out, because I can already tell how people are going to abuse this. Even in gadget decks, like, I can already tell that there are going to be people mixing the Cyber Dragon structure deck with gadgets and, like, Machina gadgets to make, like, some sort of, like, Cyber Dragon Machina gadget OTK thing. And I can guarantee you they're going to abuse this Cybernetic Fusion thing. It's going to happen, you guys. It's so busted. Like, it's almost to a lesser degree a power bond. It's Fusion Gate plus Chain Material, and to a lesser degree a power bond, just because you don't get to double the attack and whatever. And yes, you do have to banish the cards, but keep in mind, banishing isn't that big of a deal, because number one, look at Cyber Valley. That banishes cards. That's a cyber monster. Cyber Network is their own return from the different dimension. We have a return from the different dimension right now. So if they end up not hitting return from the different dimension on the next ban list, oh my god, Cyber Dragons are going to be really, really, really good. And even though the Macrocosms and D-Fish are both at 1, you can just do the one-ofs in each. Have 1 D-Fish or 1 Macrocosm. That might be a little bit inconsistent, but still, you could still do that if you could make it work. And then everything that's sent to the graveyards removed from play instead. So your opponent wants to contact Fuse your Cyber Dragons. Okay, gladly do it. More banished cards for me, which also gives me the ability to run Angel Azera, and then my Angel Azera gains 100 attack for every single card that is banished in my banish zone. Yeah, try getting over my regular 2800 beat stick now, plus some extra points. So anyways, let me know what you guys think about the Cyber Dragon support in the comments below. I'm going to hopefully post this on the 4th of November, because if I don't post it now, I'm never going to post it, just because there's going to be so many just things I'll need to catch up on, this Call of Duty stuff and whatever, and Okay, so anyways, hopefully you guys enjoyed. Leave a like or a favorite if you did. It helps out tremendously. Please spread the channel if you can. I'm really trying to glow. Yes, I'm trying to glow like a little bucket full of sunshine. um, I'm trying to grow. Gage, at the time you're making this video, has 297 subs, so go and subscribe to him. I know he really wants to hit 300. He definitely deserves it. He puts out great content daily. That's right. He puts out content daily, you guys. Like, he's a far better YouTuber than me. And to have 300 subs, he deserves it. I mean, hell, he deserves 3,000 subs. Um, but anyways, thank you guys for watching. Leave a like or a favorite if you did. Leave me a comment down below about what you think about the Cyber Dragon support. And hopefully a true insider episode coming up this week, all revamped and ready to go. Thank you for watching.